What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your daily horoscope for Friday, December 25th, 2020. Brian here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. Merry Christmas, happy holidays to anybody who is celebrating. I am celebrating, yes. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you spend some time with family. I hope that, it's nothing but filled with like happiness and love today. I'm going to keep this horoscope pretty short, but I do want to show you a couple things. While we're here, we're looking at this interesting time. We do have this moon in Taurus. It came off Uranus. It came off the sextiles to the sun, Mercury. Mercury's done with Uranus and that trine. So it's like we're getting insight into what we want long term. We're getting insight into our goals, things that need to take place. I just want to touch on these scores again, like the sun and Mars sharing reception of exaltation until January 6th when Mars comes into Taurus. So this is like really time to go after these goals, to take action in your life, to make things happen for yourself. Whatever you want in your future that you can already feel that Uranus dropped as insight, it's time to go after that. It's kind of a short window, right? January 6th is going to be here before we know it. And the sun's going to go back to a really low score. And I'll show you those scores in a second. I have that chart up after this, but it's interesting times. Things are just shaking up with this Uranus and Taurus working on squares to Jupiter and Saturn. What's also interesting is that Jupiter and Saturn are starting to work on a semi-square to Neptune in Pisces, of course, squaring these nodes. So man, there's going to be some interesting, shaken up, weird stuff when it comes to what we want to accomplish and how we can express that individuality and kind of go into the future that we're looking for. But there's going to be some sort of obstacles, and it's going to be kind of like blown up by a media, especially with Neptune approaching the south node. With Venus approaching the south node, that we're kind of going to start feeling, not so much today, but it's a big deal because we're going to see something really weird come out by the weekend, where it's going to make you feel like you have to go live in the old story to have any sort of comfort in life. And that's a spell. That's a illusion. Don't listen to that stuff. I'm just going to be honest. Like, follow your individuality, your heart, know your value with this moon in Taurus, which is going to also sextile that energy of Neptune in Pisces. So I think that we're getting a lot of insight into what's going to make us feel the best. But it might not just show up in the physical world. This might just be, again, more subconscious knowing, more downloads, more information that just appears in life that's going to connect you to people, that's going to connect you to what you want to go after. And now you got to use that Mars that just came off the square to Pluto. Use that energy, things kind of, you felt something with Mars square Pluto. It might not have been rage, it might not have been aggression, but if anything, it brought up passion within your soul to go after what you want. It definitely could have manifested in a bunch of different ways, I would say, depending on you as an individual and your place in your soul evolution. So, and even if it did bring up some sort of anger or upsetting, that's good. It's good to work through that. Well, now it's time to push through with how you can make things better. That showed you a sign, just like Uranus trine Neptune, there was some divine guidance to go towards that future. And now we have to be sensitive to that and let our emotions kind of guide us as well. So take action for the emotions that are going to bring you the ultimate value and the stability that you need within yourself to push forward with goals, to use this good masculine energy. It is Christmas and we have the sun square Chiron exact today. So this is interesting today. It's go deal with what needs to be dealt with in your life, but make sure that you're not just losing yourself in that. This is kind of go forward into new areas, drop being a victim, especially against yourself. You can't have that self-doubt. You got to risk some confidence and be in your truth and just go for what's going to get you to the top of life, what's going to get you to the top of the mountain here with the sun in Capricorn. It's not all the time that we get a sun in Capricorn with such high scores, like I showed you down here, like a +7. Like the sun is not, happy in Capricorn, Saturn ruled sign. So let's, I would say more than, be smart, especially with a Mercury in Capricorn. Like, use this to get stuff done. You're getting that insight. You know what's up. You can feel it today. Today's definitely a day where you're going to feel what your values are. And you might just have to use a little bit more oomph to go get them. And I know it's Christmas, so you might feel like you're obligated to do things for other people. Take some time today, at some point, if you can, in your life, to just make sure that, like, you're putting, as we come to a year close here, that you're putting some sort of effort into what you truly want, that's going to bring you value, that's going to take you to the next step in life. And it might just be something that you never expected, with so much Uranian energy, with Jupiter and Saturn squaring Uranus. Uranus would technically be in a fall position. It doesn't like Taurus, and it's the dispositor for Jupiter and Saturn. And Jupiter took over Saturn's rule in a way. So doing things from an individuated place for your freedom, for what makes you feel ultimately connected to the life you want to live, is the door, is the key, is the gift. But there's still Saturn here, strong at home, that's gonna try and make, like, you be connected to that old story, that old system even more. That's part of the Neptune square the node spell. But, like, we got to keep our minds straight. We got to, look for our own truth and not, North Node Gemini, I would say we just got to be, like, really, street smart when it comes to life. So, yeah. Oh, I will show you this chart here. This is for January 6th, when Mars enters Taurus. That is Mars's its detriment or fall position. So it's not doing good here. We got a Mars -3 and a Sun -5. So everything kind of shifts when it comes to our masculine energy and our drive and our passion, courage. So this is a good time in between this window to really, like, have that passion to go after what you want. And then when the sun comes into Aquarius on the 19th, that is, fall. I'm sorry, it's detriment for the sun. So the sun is going to be really, really beat down there too. So it's interesting, it's interesting. We hear Biden talk about, like, this dark winter a lot. He's projecting, like, some truth, so it's just looking like the middle of winter is going to be a very interesting shaken up time. Uranus squares to the Aquarian energy of Jupiter, Saturn, the sun coming in. We're going to see so much Aquarius in the chart. It's really going to force us to have to look differently, or else we're going to have to be stuck in some weird conformity. And that's the thing about Aquarius, is kind of like it can be overly connected to where it's just like everything looks kind of the same. But that's where Aquarius energy, like, eventually is fed up and just breaks away, and it's like, I'm not, it's like our soul comes out and says, no, we're not all meant to, we're all not supposed to do the exact same thing. That's not evolutionary growth. So in a world where we're kind of being pushed to all do the same thing, we have to make sure to keep our individuated self going and push forward for what we want on our mission here. And it's not necessarily going to be easy, but how can we do that? And it is Christmas, so enjoy the day with your family. I think overall we have a pretty decent energy for this Christmas. The Sun square Chiron's interesting. I think it could definitely bring up some sort of. It could bring up weird things. Chiron's kind of a weirdo too, like Uranus. So try not to feel weird in yourself. Try not to let other people make you feel weird. Conversations, there's such a split in the collective with family. It can be hard. There's just so much polarity. In the end, polarity is necessary because it helps you find balance. So I think ultimately find balance, to be in the heart and to feel good today, especially with a Taurus moon. it is going to come off a quincunx to Venus in Sagittarius. So I think we're trying to really see the bigger picture of the values and what we can have, but we don't want to like get lost in someone else's vision of that. You know, a lot of false gurus are going to come up. I think it's funny that I saw some stuff on Twitter of like Cardi B is like really pushing like a mainstream spirituality now, which isn't like necessarily a bad thing, but this is the kind of stuff that's going to come out is like, is that actually her putting out this message, or is this like a spiritual trap? Remember, we have Neptune coming 19 degrees, which is witch trial degree. So just be mindful of what you are doing. Be mindful of who's putting out information. Do they resonate with you? Are they coming from a place of love? Or are they pushing something different? Just discernment, I think, is so important right now, and to make sure you're doing you in the most authentic way possible. We got the 10 of coins here. I got a new deck. It's the Crowley Thoth deck. I went to a bookstore and picked it up. Yeah, I think the ultimate abundance and wealth in life right now is to know your value and to go after it right now. I think we need to go after the greatness of life to make sure that, you know, we can still have that. I think freedom is so important with this Mars in Aries, trying to have us do the things that give us the power within ourselves. But we live in such a world where it's taking that power, trying its best to take that power away. And we did just come off that square to Pluto. Now Mars has to come into Taurus, where it's debilitated, and square Jupiter and Saturn first. So, you know, how can we find the ultimate value in life right now? How can we find the wealth within us to create the abundance that we need? Is important. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. I will see you guys tomorrow. Love you very much. Take care. Peace.